Welcome, everybody. This is Restaurant Rescue. It is a little bit different from my regular class because it is not a Food for Life class. We are not having a cooking present or cooking demonstration. And Dr. Barnard is not going to be speaking to all of us. It's going to be me. But all of you have expressed interest in knowing more about how to survive going to a restaurant. First of all, and this is audience participation, a lot of this is audience participation. Why do we go to a restaurant?
To socialize as
To
well.
socialize, exactly. It's
Special
fun, right?
occasion. Special occasion.
A special occasion.
Don't feel like cooking.
Oh, never feel like cooking. Exactly.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
Date night.
Date night, special anniversary, birthday, all of those things. Anybody else?
Traveling.
Traveling, yes. So we have all of these reasons why we go to a restaurant. And part of all of that is we have to make a selection. So tonight in this presentation, I'm going to try to walk you through steps. I am going to give you some tests, and they're fun tests. They're meant to be fun. And what I mean by that is if you see a name on a menu, what does that mean? And could it be deceiving? You know, if you see something that would normally be a vegan meal, could it by chance have some hidden ingredients that is going to blow your whole food plant-based lifestyle? So anyway, those are kind of the things that I want to go over. I hope it's fun for you. It was really, it was work, but it was also a lot of fun for me. Okay, so Restaurant Rescue, healthy dining the plant-based way. And so I do want everybody to know that I have not over the years received anything that looks like an MD or a nurse practitioner or anything like that. This is not medical advice. If you are seeking medical advice, please visit your primary care physician or your healthcare provider. But this class is for educational purposes only. And it's also to have fun. And we learn from each other. Every time I have a class, I learn something from you. So I really do appreciate you being here and helping me along this plant-based journey as well. Dr. Barnard said, we don't have him, but we have a quote from him. What we choose to eat is the most powerful daily decision we make for our health, far more influential than genetics. You know, we've all heard the saying, genetics loads the gun and lifestyle pulls the trigger. Well, this is part of that. Those decisions that we make every single day are really going to have a major impact on our health. And you may have heard somewhere down the line that we make 35,000 decisions every day. Now, some of them are very minor. Do we get out of bed? You know, do we turn over and sleep an extra hour or an extra 15 minutes? You know, what do we wear and so forth? But 200 to 300 decisions every day are based on food. So when you start thinking about that, you can see what an impact it has on your life. So this is our first test. What's hiding in these dishes? So we think, you know, over on the left-hand side, bechamel lasagna. What may be in that lasagna that we don't eat? What is demi-glace sauce?
Meat,
Meat, cheese,
milk,
Okay, so are y'all saying that for the lasagna?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And lots of salt.
And salt, a lot of
Oil?
salt. Yeah. Okay, so what about the demi-glace sauce? What is that?
Sugar.
Sugar? Anybody else? And listen, I don't want y'all looking on your cell phone. That is cheating. We are at a restaurant. Now, you may be able to think about some, but we're looking at a menu and we see demi-glace sauce. So, what does that mean?
Does it
I don't
have
know what's in
gelatin
it.
in it?
Does it have gelatin in it? Well, it could.
BC says fat,
Fat,
sugar.
sugar. Okay. Now, let's go to tofu tempura. So, here's tofu. But what is that tempura? What does that do to our food?
It definitely has
Fried
oil in it.
means
It's
fried.
fried.
It's tempura.
Okay, so y'all are almost on the right track. So the lasagna butter, so the bechamel, that's the key there. The bechamel is a butter-based cream sauce. You will see that in a lot of French restaurants or French menus. There's actually supposed to be a hyphen over the E. My computer wouldn't do it. But so it is a very heavy sauce and it's delicious. Back in my days, I've had it. Demi-glace sauce, it's a meat stock reduction.
Oh,
Oh,
So it looks
like a
like
dessert.
gelatin. And what it does, they just cook it down and they cook it down and it becomes almost like a gelatin look.
Mm.
And of course, that tofu tempura is a deep fried tofu, and it is deep fried in oil, of course.
Yep.
Okay, when you cook at home, so this is one other thing. I am really going to ask you to cook more at home and to be very comfortable eating at home. And of course, that's why we have cooking demonstrations. So we can cook at home and get some delicious, flavorful meals. When you cook at home, you automatically eat healthier. Restaurants and fast food are engineered for flavor, not for health.
It's also cheaper.
It's also a lot cheaper eating at home. Yes, I don't know if if you've been out lately, but it is very expensive to eat out. Okay, next slide.
Debbie BC was talking about that oil and she talked about it gives it flavor. So that must be why they do it, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so these are three dishes that look deceivingly like vegan or vegetarian dishes, right? So what is hiding in the pesto pasta? That
Oil.
probably
Oil.
the oil.
Yeah.
the oil?
Oil
Okay,
and cheese.
Definitely cheese.
cheese is in there too. Exactly. Sometimes it has walnuts in there. So the
Pine nuts.
pine nuts, yeah, pine nuts too. Yes.
Mhm.
So yes, y'all are on the right track. What about a veggie croissant? Those veggies look very tempting, don't they?
Yeah, but the
Butter.
croissant,
Croissant.
The croissant. And what's wrong with the croissant?
Butter.
Eggs and
Egg.
butter.
butter, eggs, oil.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of butter in that croissant. Okay, what
Yum.
about the vegetable au gratin?
Cheese.
Butter,
Cheese, yeah.
cheese.
No.
So the au gratin, once again, is going to be a French term, but we do know it as cheese. And you can see heavy oil and cheese in the pesto pasta, heavy butter in the croissant, and heavy milk and cheese in the au gratin. So y'all are very familiar with these terms, so I'm proud of you. A home cooked meal nourishes you, and a restaurant meal seduces you. So we are going to start looking. Oh, so restaurant dining. This is important. The average restaurant meal, the entree alone, just the entree, the average calories are 1,250.
Ooh,
Wow.
Of that, 58 of them are fat. Now that's a lot of fat. If you've listened to me enough and watched Dr. Barnard enough on this, when I doing classes, excuse me, you know that Dr. Barnard recommends no more than 33 grams of fat a day. So total fat for one meal is almost twice as many as what Dr. Barnard is recommending. Sodium is 2,269. That's 99% of your daily sodium amount. And of the fat, your recommended daily amount of saturated fat based on the American Heart Association recommendations, the top should be less than 6 grams a day of saturated fat. And the minimum or the average is 18 grams of saturated fat in every restaurant dining meal. Now we're going to see right here. So this is a menu, and this is actually PF chain. So we have calories from fat, then we have fat, and then we have saturated fat, and then go over a couple. And and these are items that look very much vegetarian or vegan. And then you see how much sodium is in these ingredients.
6,400?
6,400 for one item.
How much sodium is recommended per day?
Okay, so for the general population, it's 2,400. But if you have heart disease or diabetes, it's 1,500 or less.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're looking at this and you see 6,400, you can see that that is a whole lot of sodium. That is, 3 times, 4 times what somebody who has heart disease or diabetes should have. Okay, we have one more. So this was PF chain. Okay, this is from Chili's, and this is all vegan food. Okay, so look at this, calories from fat, grams of saturated fat, and then jump over here to sodium. We have 4,200. We have 3,500. So, and this is, as I said, I think the very top one right here, this very top one is actually a pretzel, a large pretzel. So 3,570 grams of sodium.
Wow.
And look at this, 48 grams of fat.
Wow.
Okay.
The chilies.
So as you can see, it's not too healthy, right? Okay, so as we are going through this, these are some of the goals that I wanted to show you. That we want to make things as whole food, plant-based as possible. And when they are whole food, there's going to be less processed, less sodium in them. And that would lend to the right low salt, low sugar, oil-free or low fat as possible. And once again, I'm going to be encouraging you along the way to eat more at home. So let's start with this, low-fat dining out. Just like I showed you PF Chain and Chili's, most of your restaurants have menus online. And when you go to their site, type in nutrition. So search online, and what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to find the sodium, you're going to be able to find the fat. you're going to be able to find the saturated fat. And this is going to make it very, very easy for you to select what you want. Now, if you are planning a special event, I'll say my husband's birthday is coming up. We celebrated with a friend last week, so we went to one of our 4 or 5-star restaurants. But 2 weeks beforehand, I called and talked to the chef, and I said, I'm totally plant-based. I don't want any oil and I don't want any salt. Can you accommodate me? And he said, yes. He said, I can make whatever you want. So that night, when we went there, I told the server, he actually brought the chef out, and the chef went through all of the vegetables that he could put in my pasta primavera, prepared with no oil and no salt. So, they can do it. You just have to do things in advance. Now, one other thing I want to recommend. If you go online and you see what you want in the calories that you can afford, it's not 5,000 calories, and it's in the the fat, you don't want all of the fat. So if it's everything that you want, I am recommending that you be the very first person to order at your table, if you have a big table. And why that is important is because you're going to start hearing everybody. You're going to hear what the daily specials are. Then you're going to hear people at the table start ordering all of these foods. And you're going to start thinking, oh, wow. Remember a slide or two ago, it said food, the restaurants seduce you. So when they start talking about all of these things, yes, they are seducing you. And you may change your mind, but be strong, be the first one, and do not change your mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I found out over the weekend we were having this discussion because I will get a baked potato at like a steakhouse. I didn't know they were basted in beef tallow. And so is Wendy's baked potatoes.
Oh, wow. Well, Rebecca, that's the first I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I've been told Wendy's does not do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
I've eaten Wendy's baked potatoes. I typically don't eat the skin anyway, but I've been told by different Wendy's, now maybe some Wendy's still do, but that they don't do that anymore.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I always get like when I go to the steakhouse, I get a salad and a baked potato and stuff. But
Yeah, in a steakhouse, it's never good to eat the potato skin. Even if they don't use beef tallow, they're going to use oil of some sort.
And I don't eat the skin there either, but
And usually they put the large ice cream salt on the outside, the large.
yeah.
piece. So you don't want that anyway. Okay. You don't want the outside, the skin is what I'm referring to.
Right.
Okay.
You can ask for a baked potato to be dry, and they'll cook it without butter.
Okay.
Wow.
We just have to do this. We have to do the due diligence. We have to ask the waiter to special. And you know what? We're paying for it. So never feel like you are doing something wrong. We are paying for it.
And if they bring it wrong, don't feel bad about sending it back.
Exactly. Thank you, Vicki. That is so important. So we watched the movie When Harry Met Sally not too long ago. And if you recall how Sally always had all of these special requests, and my husband said, that's you, referring to me. But you have to have special requests because if not, you're going to be getting that standard fare that we just saw in those two menus. Okay.
Another thing that happened to me I'm sorry, Deb, I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
Another thing that happened to me very early in my plant-based eating is and I don't even remember what restaurant it was. It's probably Bennigan's or something that's been gone for 20 years. I ordered broccoli and I wanted it steamed plain, and I said cooked without oil or butter. No problem. So they steamed it, cooked it without oil or butter, and then sprayed it with liquid butter.
Oh,
And
So
you
you have
sent
to be
it back,
very
right?
specific.
You sent it back, Vicki?
Yes, I did. They said,
Yeah.
well, you said not to cook it with it, and we didn't.
Oh,
oh,
But after it was cooked, they sprayed it. So, yeah.
I was just in the hospital and I refused to eat any of their food except if they had fruit that was still in its skin. In other words, not canned or anything. So I got strawberries, cantaloupe, grapes, and one other item I got. And then I said, could I possibly have, steamed broccoli with nothing on it, no salt, nothing, just steamed? And so they did that. So the next morning for fruit, they brought fruit again. And I had said, you have zucchini. Could you just steam the zucchini with nothing on it? They grilled it. They grilled it with God knows what. I opened it up and I said, okay, I'm not touching that. So I literally left a hospital, hadn't eaten any food
Oh, wow.
except for, two bowls of fruit and one stick of broccoli. But I just, I think it's important whether you go out anywhere, restaurant, hospital, or anything.
I can send it to Debbie, but when I was in the hospital, this has been several years ago now, I created a card
Yes,
to give to the kitchen and I gave it to everybody that I thought might have anything to do with what I had to eat. And it was very explicit about what I would eat. Fortunately for me, I was in an Advent hospital,
yes,
which is run by Seventh-day Adventists.
yes.
And having vegan options was not a problem. The oil was a little sticky, but I was able to eat their food. I didn't have a big variety. And with my husband bringing me baked potatoes every day, I was able to eat pretty good, actually.
Wow. Well, I just determined that A, don't go to hospitals anymore, and B,
Yeah, I agree.
and B, just bring my own food or have RC go get it from the store for me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Number 2 is ask for plain, dry grilled, or steamed. And Laura, this may have been helpful for you. Plain or steamed are kind of easy. When we say grilled, there's oil or butter from the previous food. There's salt from the previous food. So when you're putting it on a grill, you're getting somebody else's residue.
Yep.
So dry grill really does make a difference. And that's going to help protect you. What you can do on this, you can ask for salsa or lemon juice, vinegar, mustard, or hot sauce to add flavor to it, or just have it plain. Next is skip hidden fats and sauces and dressings. It is truly incredible when you look at salad dressings. The little packets that they have for a salad, I have seen them up to 760 calories just for one packet. And you know that all of that is fat. So when we are ordering, make sure we say no sauces, no oils, no dressings. Some of the sauces, I will ask for a marinara sauce on the side because I know that they cannot make a marinara sauce without the sodium in it. So I will put it on the side and I will dip my fork in it and just have a little bit of it. So I'm not getting sodium poisoning from that. Okay, but make sure you try to get some flavors on the side. I'm going to be talking about a survival pack. something that you can take to the restaurant. And if y'all have ever been to the restaurant with me, you know exactly what's in that travel pack. So anyway, we'll talk about that towards the end of this section. Okay, next is combine those simple sides for a full meal. Rebecca was talking about a baked potato. Most restaurants will have a potato. Some will have sweet potatoes. You can get those without butter or butter and cinnamon. As far as the sweet potato goes, you can get plain black beans, possibly plain rice. And I know that we are whole food plant-based. We really want to have brown rice if we can, but please remember that our white rice is going to be just as good in a pinch than our brown rice. I mean, there's only one difference. And I'm saying that I would not recommend that you have white rice every day. But if you don't have the option for brown rice, get the white rice without the butter and without the oil. Okay. Let's see. Watch out for vegan but fatty foods.
Yeah. What?
I kind of talked about that earlier. Some of those, like the tofu tempura, it is fried. We also have Hope, what are you asking me to do?
Nothing. I'm sorry, I was just making a comment
I like that.
that if you have the marinara on the side, you dip your fork in the sauce and then in the pasta or whatever, and you get just a little bitty taste of the marinara and not a whole lot of it.
Exactly.
How did that do that?
What did you see what came up?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
I
sorry.
I see if you get the marinara, dip your fork in it, and then the pasta, you just get a hint of flavor. Huh.
So that is an old trick with salads. If you have to have a salad dressing, get the salad dressing on the side and dip your fork in it. You're only going to be using a little bit of it, but you are getting some type of a flavor. And that's the same with the marinara. Okay. So watch out for those vegan fatty foods. We kind of went over that. And choose global cuisines wisely. We will be going into a lot of those globals towards the end of this presentation. But, we know that a lot of our Asian food or Indian foods have heavy on the oil. I can think of many times when I have gone to a restaurant and asked for hummus and it comes floating with oil on top, olive oil on top, because olive oil is so good for you, right? And I'm joking on that. Don't take that out of context. But so you need to really be wise when you're looking at those global cuisines. But a lot of them have delicious vegetables that you can eat. You just have to order them without the butter or without the oil. Okay, prioritize whole over vegan junk. When I said restaurants seduce, I can also think about the trucks these days. What are those called?
Food trucks?
Food trucks, yes. They will have vegan food trucks and everything is fried. That's called vegan junk food. Okay. Try to get the whole. You see the broccoli right there. Try to get that whole, the broccoli, the potato, the zucchini, as Laura mentioned. So think about the whole food, the whole grains, your rice, your bulgur, your barley, whatever it is, try to think whole. Use spices, not fat. There are so many different spice blends, and each of the different ethnicities have their own blend. So think about those and think about what restaurant you're going to and how you could make those, take a packet with you and use your own vegetable or your own seasonings for your, in place of something else that would be detrimental to your health or detrimental to your diet. And then when you are talking to your wait staff, do it with confidence and do it with kindness. Because, yes, they get a lot of requests for doing things. And if you kill them with kindness, they're going to kill you with a delicious meal, or not kill you, but you know what I mean. They're going to bend over backwards for you.
And tip well.
And tip well too, yes.
They'll remember you when you come back.
And, if you have to send something back because they mess it up, just pray that they didn't spit on it too. And also take nutritional yeast with you. I love taking nutty parm with me because it seems to add flavor. You can put it on your potato. You can put it on your broccoli. You can put it on so many things. Okay. On the communicating with confidence, I think about Dr. Delaney having a card, and she has on the card printed, I cannot have these items. Let them know right up front. I do not eat oil. I do not eat butter. I do not eat anything that comes from an animal. So let them know right up front. Okay, and then next is our travel kit. These are things that your restaurant may not have, but this is a restaurant that everybody wants to go to. Usually you can always find a salad, even if it's just a plain lettuce and tomato salad. So what can you bring to make that salad look really, really good? Up here is the edamames. You're going to see this on the next slide too. Flavored balsamic vinegar or just regular balsamic vinegar. And a lot of times the restaurants will have plain balsamic vinegar, or they will have a balsamic glaze that you can ask for. And it's not a glaze that has oil in it. It is just the vinegar or the glaze. You can have lemon juice with you, hot sauce, salt-free seasoning like Mrs. Dash. You can bring all of these either in your purse. Guys, I know that y'all don't usually carry purses, but your wife may have a purse that you can put it in. Or I will bring a lunch bag with me and make it work. Okay. So here are some ideas. You got edamames twice. Linda likes these dry roasted edamames. I like the shelled soybean edamames too. We went someplace recently and Kathy was running late, so she got a typical salad, but then she brought the lentils, the lentifuls.
Yeah.
And
No.
nobody. Okay. So the lentifuls, 200 calories. So here is the calorie chart underneath. 200 calories, only a half a gram of fat. This has 140 milligrams of sodium. So folks, this is really, really good. This is vegetable harvest. Kathy asked for hot water as if she was making tea. She poured it in, covered it up, and it was done in 5 or 10 minutes, right, Kathy?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. These come in a whole bunch of different flavors. You need to watch. Some of them go up to 500 milligrams of sodium, but they're all about 200 calories and very delicious.
And Deb, if you'll notice on the bottom right down here where it says vegetable harvest, it says low sodium. So they have several that are low sodium that have different flavors. So you just get those and then the sodium is okay.
Okay, if you're going to breakfast, check it out. Overnight oats, you can take that. All you have to do is add add milk to that. And of course, a plant-based milk, 20 grams of protein. It's low fat. It's easy peasy. And then, of course, taking along your flavored balsamic vinegars always are very helpful. Okay, so a quick summary on this part. Plan ahead, check those menus online, order first so you're not seduced by everybody else's orders. Request steamed or dry cooking. Avoid all oils. Avoid fatty vegan foods. Skip the coconut curries. We're going to hit coconut at the end. And avoid fried items. Mix and match. Look at those side orders, see what they have, and how you can make a balanced plate, and then use natural flavors. Whole food, low fat, plant strong wherever you go. Any questions at this point?
I have one.
Okay.
If we were going to make that card that you talked about, the foods that you cannot have, salt, oil, animals, animal byproducts like cheese and eggs, and sugar. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so, but I know one of us has that card, so we could probably share just what she has on there.
When I did mine for the hospital, I was pretty detailed because a lot of people don't understand when you say animal products, they don't think of chicken broth or, I made it pretty detailed. And the interesting thing that happened is because I did that, and I did that when I checked in ahead of time, they put it on my chart vegan, and everybody in the kitchen thought that was doctor's orders.
Oh, I love that.
It worked out great. Yeah.
Vicki, will you share that and so that I can send it out?
Yeah, I'll find it and email it.
Okay, good deal.
That would be great because a lot of times people think that when you say I don't eat animals or animal products, they say, oh, but you eat eggs. Oh, but you eat cheese. No.
Yeah, that's why I say byproducts. The products are the animals, the cow or the pig. The byproducts are the things that come after that, the eggs and milk
and
cheese.
But most people don't think about it that way.
Yeah.
So you really do have to be specific.
Again, I was very lucky to be in an Advent hospital, and they understood vegetarian and vegan because that's how a Seventh-day Adventist eat. So
they understand the words, but not the concept.
Sometimes you're right.
Yeah.
Debbie, I have my card I can show that I take when we travel internationally. Would that be helpful to?
That would be helpful, Kathy. Yeah.
You have to let me share. Okay, so when we travel, I make a card.
Wait, are you sharing now?
I can't share yet.
Okay. How about if we wait until the end to share that?
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Okay, that'd be perfect. Okay, any more comments on this part?
Deb, let me just share something from the Ornish Cardiac Rehab Program. One of the things the dietitian had us do was take apart, when you look at the menu, take it apart and look at everything on the menu and see what the ingredients are. Because a lot of times one ingredient from one off-limits dish, if you can ask the chef or ask the wait staff, if they could put something together in the kitchen for you with this, and this. And so we were shown a lot of different menus, and we were given some tips on how to put those things together. So I think it's kind of builds on what you've already said about checking the menus before you go. But look at the things that are off limits, and there may be garbanzo beans or things like that. You just need to ensure that they're not, sodium laden, or, if they're fresh. It really depends. And that conversation can occur with the wait staff, or like what happened with you. They sent the chef sent out someone to get your information. So I just thought I would share that because I found that very helpful. And even we took some menus that you would never eat in this place. You wouldn't choose this place. But surprisingly, you were able to put some things together. And it all depends on if the staff, how user-friendly they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they're flexible enough to do something. Yeah. Okay. So we are moving on. So once again, foods to avoid and why. So what, we think about a potato, a loaded potato soup. Now, why would that be something we wouldn't want to eat?
Dairy.
Dairy, salt.
Cheese,
might
probably.
even put like
Cheese, yeah.
bacon in there. I think when they say loaded, it usually includes things like bacon.
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, this is, hold on a second. Okay. This is the American cuisine. Okay. We're going to have Italian in a second, but this is American. Okay. So a veggie burger. So, we think about a vegetarian burger. What would that have in it?
Cheese. I see a slice of cheese, but what are they putting in the veggie burger? There's 100 ways to make it.
Oil.
Okay. Anybody else guess on that veggie burger?
There's egg sometimes.
Mayonnaise.
Yes, eggs sometimes. And then what about that aioli sauce?
Not familiar with that.
Mayonnaise.
Egg, mayo.
Okay, so let's look. So yes, the loaded has bacon, cream, and cheese. Veggie burgers. Now this one, we don't know if that is vegan cheese or not, but vegan cheese we know would be high in oil. But we also know that your typical veggie burger has egg whites in it. And then the aioli sauce usually is high in oil. Usually it's garlic, and there's a whole lot of aioli sauces these days, but the original one was garlic and oil emulsion. So that, it's just going to be all oil. Okay, when you choose your ingredients, you choose your outcome. And, I feel like whenever we are dining out, we have to make the right choices. And Linda, you just said Ornish taught y'all in their program that's what you need to do. Be selective on what you're going to be eating, because one meal can really mess us up. I wish I had Dr. Barnard's quote on eating one meal, but one meal can do damage to our heart and our arteries. Okay, so here we go on the Italian food. Now, these are maybe something that you're familiar with, but it may not be something that you are familiar with. But when you look at these, like the carbonara, that looks innocent, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what would be in carbonara that we may not want to have?
Oil, cheese,
Butter.
Sodium.
butter.
Bacon.
I was going to say, I think carbonara has bacon. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
What about the bolognese?
Beef.
Meat, cheese.
Oil.
Oil. Okay. And Alfredo?
Oh my gosh.
Definitely
Butter and
dairy,
heavy
Cream.
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 Heavy
cream.
cream. Oh my God.
So
Heart attack
I
and
think
plate.
all of us know about Alfredo, but the first two, are probably not. So egg yolks are in carbonara, black pepper, cheese, and pork jowls. Now that could be part of the bacon, but pork jowls. The bolognese has ground beef and ground pork, along with the tomato meat sauce. And then the Alfredo, butter, heavy whipping cream, and cream cheese. So, none of these are things that we want to be eating. So
Alfredo has been nicknamed heart attack on a plate.
I can believe it. Yeah, just looking at those ingredients: butter, heavy whipping cream, not just whipping cream, heavy whipping cream, and then cream cheese. But look, they threw some broccoli in there.
That was to fool you.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
distracts you.
They wanted to make it really, really healthy with that broccoli there. Okay. Every time I do. Okay. So now we're going to start looking at world travelers, or not world travelers, but we're going to be looking at when we are going to ethnic restaurants. How can we order? Okay. This is the power plate. Y'all should recognize it: fruit, grains, legumes, and vegetables. So once again, when we are going to any type of restaurant, we should try to incorporate these four things. Okay, so let's look at the vegetables. Steamed or stewed vegetables. In the US, we can make it very, very easy. You know, steamed vegetables, or a baked sweet potato, a baked potato. These are you can look at the different ones. And for those people who can speak French, anybody speak French? Speak up now.
A little better.
Okay. How about Thailand, or anybody from Thailand or can speak Thai?
I can
Well,
only say how to go to the bathroom in French. Also, les toilettes.
I can say fermez la bouche in French.
Yeah, me too. That's very helpful.
And Laura, can you do Ethiopia? Maybe she's not. Okay. Anyway, so, here are some ideas of what you can order. And just make sure you say no oil. Thailand, no fish sauce, which really sounds nasty. And then we have our whole grains. In India, you may want the basmati rice, plain. You want to make sure that they don't add ghee to it. Japan, white or brown rice. Bulgur, barley from the Mediterranean. Bulgur and barley are always wonderful no matter where. You may want to get a teff flatbread, sourdough from Ethiopia. And then Latin America, corn tortillas, yucca. So you can see where we can get grains. Beans, lentils, chickpeas. I mean, these are very popular in all nationalities. But you really want to make sure that there's no oil in there, and no coconut milk.
Debbie, what is ground nut? I'm sorry, that was.
You know what, Kathy? I should have looked that up.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Okay.
If you're looking it up now, you can tell us what it is.
I will.
Because
it's another name for peanut.
For peanut? Oh.
Somebody knew it, and yeah, there you go. Joanne knew it.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Well, because it's a nut and it grows in the ground, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go with our salads and raw vegetables. Once again, we have fish flakes from Japan and a cucumber salad, which really sounds terrible. Nepal is the cactus. So anyway, you can see, okay, so here are starchy vegetables and root crops. So we have a lot of starchy vegetables. We also have other roots like our beets or our carrots. All of those are super great. We can get those steamed. We can have them baked or roasted. But when they roast them, sometimes they roast them with oil or with butter. So make sure you specify no oil, no butter on all of those. But don't those purple sweet potatoes look great?
Yes.
Okay, so we really want to, okay, so Linda, I know you know how to speak Spanish. So can you say that without oil, butter, or cheese in Spanish?
Well, let's see. I have to think about this. I'm not that fluent, Deb.
Oh, no, wait, it's right there.
Oh,
Not oil, butter, or cheese. Sin aceite, sin mantequilla, sin queso.
Okay.
yes.
So queso we know is cheese. So once again, we have French. We didn't have anybody before. How about Italian? Any Italians?
Ponza olio, puro formaggio without oil, butter.
Somebody's doing very well. And what about Thai?
My son naman, my son nampla. No oil, no fish sauce. No.
Okay, well, anyway, you can take a picture of that. And if you are traveling, you know how to order. Okay, so here we go. And oh, one more thing when traveling, remember there's Happy Cow and there's also Google Maps. So if you're looking for restaurants that really do lend or have, some great vegan food or whole food plant-based, make sure you try Happy Cow because that is global. Now, here are some high-fat vegan foods. Now, why would these be high-fat vegan foods?
Most of them have coconut.
Actually, all of these have coconut in them. And we know that the coconut, and you'll see it in a minute, what the coconut is. But yes, all of these have coconut in them. And the same with Indian food. And so these are also going to be high in fat. So we need to, when we look at this, we think, oh, it is vegan. And then when we get it, we are surprised and we are not super, super happy. So we have to really be careful on that. So why does coconut matter? It easily turns a vegetable dish into a high calorie, high fat entree. It is very common in vegan world or plant forward menus because coconut is very popular these days. Coconut oil is very popular these days. And I promise you, coconut oil is not heart healthy whatsoever. It's right up there with butter. And also, if you see in the menu, if it says creamy, velvety, or rich, you know that it usually has coconut in it. So 1 cup of coconut milk can have up to 57 grams of fat per cup. And of that 57, 50 of those are saturated fat. So it's actually called a fat bomb because it usually is hidden. It's not necessarily quite specific, that coconut milk or coconut cream is another one, is in there. And as I said, no cardiovascular benefit. And it's very calorie dense. It's very easy to overeat. And when I was typing that, I was thinking about those years that I loved coconut macaroons and how I probably could have had 3 or 4 at one sitting, and how easy it was to enjoy those. And thinking that, they're made with egg whites and coconut. So what is wrong with that, right? Well, you can see what's wrong with that.
Debbie, there was a question from, I think it was Taisha. What about light coconut milk? Is that okay?
It's still going to be high in saturated in fat and saturated fat. It's not going to be as much, but it's still going to be there. I think the only thing that really is safe with the word coconut is coconut water. Okay. And that's supposed to have a lot of electrolytes in it. Excuse me, and maybe 1 gram of fat if it has that. I haven't looked at coconut water and I don't drink it, but I believe that it has something like 80 calories to it. I don't know. I don't have it, so I should not be talking about that.
I know in recipes that call for coconut milk, Mary McDougall uses whatever plant-based milk and coconut extract. And if it needs to be thick, then she just thickens it with a little bit of cornstarch, I believe, for recipes that call for coconut milk.
Okay.
What about eating coconut? Because like if you eat an olive, it's better than eating olive oil. So is eating coconut okay?
It is still very high in saturated fat.
Okay.
Yeah.
On Dr. McDougall's website, he has a list of foods not allowed, and coconut is one of them.
Yeah.
Debbie, when we used to go to the Thai restaurant in our town, my husband would take some almond milk because he loved their dishes that were coconut curries and all. And they would substitute and they would put his almond milk in it, and he thought it was fine because they have all the other flavors in it. So
right. Yeah. Coconut is and I will tell you, I love it, but I will not touch it. I mean, I honestly will not touch it. It does raise your LDL cholesterol, and we know that our LDL cholesterol is really very, very important to our health. So we don't want to do that. It has very little fiber. So we really, I mean, it does have fiber because it is a plant, but it compared to the calories and so forth, it's just not worth it. So try to avoid it at all cost. Any other questions? And I will promise you, there are people out there that will swear their life that coconut oil is very good. And I have a friend who 2 tablespoons of coconut oil every single day. And she has no idea why she can't get her cholesterol below 200 and she can't get her LDL below 180.
Wow.
Okay, so rescue checklist. Scan the menu. Spot warning signs like crispy, creamy, rich, velvety. Ask for it your way. You are paying for it. Think about steam. Think about dry grilled. No oil, no butter, sauce on the side. Also, ask for extra veggies. That's very important. Beware of the hidden traps like salad dressing, curries that are covered in coconut. Know your international go-tos. Build meals around rice, potatoes, steamed vegetables. Prioritize low-fat and whole food choices. That's what you need to be looking for. And don't apologize for trying to be healthy. This is all about your health. One meal can be detrimental to your health. One meal. Eating out can be done the smart way, but eating at home is almost always better. You've got to go over these. So home cooked meals are less fat, less sodium, less additives, and you know that they're not going to have animal products in them unless you intentionally put them in there. You control the ingredients that you have in there. You can swap out anything and you can watch the portion sizes. Meals made at home consistently lead to better weight control, lower cholesterol, and healthier blood pressure. Folks, it's up to you. So don't forget, a home cooked meal is the greatest gift you can give your health because in your kitchen, you control the ingredients, the intention, and the outcome. And that's me there 50 years ago. Okay, so folks, we'll go to questions in a second, but the next class, my December class, I can't believe it's December already. This is going to be with Chat and Chew, and it's Sprout Power, Tiny Greens, Big Health Wins. We will be having a cooking demonstration using sprouts. But if you missed the sprouts earlier this year, you will have the opportunity to see it again with some modifications. But anyway, we hope that you will join us. And that is the QR code. Okay, if you want to scan that and register. And thank you. And then let me quit sharing my screen.
Debbie, there was a really good video that I found. I think it was yesterday from that woman who sounds like she's from Great Britain. I think she does plant-based news or something, talking about sprouts and how they're like the healthiest food in the world. And I looked at it and then I wanted to go back to it. I could not find it.
Oh, wow.
So frustrating. I mean, they were talking about all the things that sprouts did for your health.
Well, if you can find it, will you send it to me?
I will if I can find it.
Okay. Questions, comments?
I will honestly tell you guys that I do not go to lunch with my Bible study buddies because I just think it's too much trouble. And I know that's not right. You know, I miss them and I know they miss me and they don't know why because, you know, I haven't told them a lot about how I eat. But, you know, I just always have a reason why I can't go. I'll try some of this, but it just seems like it's so much trouble.
You know, when I have issues like that, like if somebody invites me to their house, I just eat before I go.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to, if there's something plain that I could eat, like if there's a piece of bread, I can just eat a piece of bread. And I just tell them, you know, I'm really not hungry. I had a late lunch or something. But with a Bible study group or a restaurant thing, you know, eat before you go, order coffee or tea or whatever it is, or water. And, you know, just, you know, if it's a place that has a plain baked potato, and just eat the center out of the baked potato. But I can eat food with absolutely nothing on it and be totally happy. So that tends to make me be okay. I mean, I don't mind being a little weird. You know, I mean, you know, it's like I'm unique.
Yeah,
I'm not weird. I'm just unique.
But you're also protecting your health.
Yes, I have to. And
I think we teach the people that we're with. We have this problem when we get families together and go out to eat, and they want to go to a pulled pork place or you know, all the stuff that we don't eat. And they just act like you've got horns in your head or
I
something.
know. I know.
But I think all the prep we can do ahead of time, I always look at the menu first and try to figure out 2 things I could possibly get if they agreed to do X, Y, Z. And I think the idea that you're missing your friends, that'd be harder with Bible study, but just the gathering of book club or whatever, not to talk about books, but a social gathering, it's too important to be there. And so plan on something, take it in your bag, order something off that menu. And especially if you've checked ahead of time, then maybe you can guide which restaurant they go to.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's good advice, and I could also use it as a teachable moment and tell them about the change in my health. But I guess I'm just tired of being looked at like I'm really weird.
Just say they're just admiring you because I'm so unique, and they're admiring me. I wanted to say something because I had with this hospital thing, I had to go through like the tortures of the damned in order to get my surgery, and they made me go to an infectious disease doctor and rheumatology and cardiology and all this stuff. And I want it known that my ejection fraction on my heart, when Dr. Delaney did it, it was 50%, 55%. Guess what? It's 70% now.
Wow.
Wow.
And also my coronary calcium scan was done, and it was 798. And 2 years later, I had it redone, and they said, "Oh, you don't need to get it redone because it can't change." And I said, "I have a prescription from my doctor for this test." And when they did it, I was 689.
Wow.
So this works. Even if you don't do it perfectly, which we're not perfect, but it works. And so when my family, we were all together, and all of us, of course, have heart disease. And when they heard that, they almost quit making fun of me for eating this way.
Well, my husband has lost 36 pounds since January. And so, if that's not a success story, I don't know what is.
See, that's wonderful.
Yes. And that's from Jane Esselstyn's event.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
That's excellent, Valerie.
Yeah. The thing that really touched him was when she said, "Why should you, let's see, I forgot what they said. The last 7 years of your life is going to be miserable. And if you keep eating like that." Is that how she said it, Debbie? I can't remember. And he was like, "Well, I don't want the last 7 years of my life to be miserable." And so that had an impact on him.
Well, if you recall, we played that video. What does the last decade of your life look like?
Okay.
And yes, so one side was somebody that was real healthy and playing with their grandchildren, and the other side was somebody who was bedridden and hospice and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's a powerful, powerful video.
Yeah, it was.
Linda Troop, you turned on you were going to say something about restaurants, something for Valerie.
Oh, I may have just hit my mouse.
Well, I wanted you to share what you do because you go to restaurants that.
Well, it's always a challenge because I'm kind of like Carol. Is it Carol that just shared about the importance of being with your friends?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I have some wonderful friends. They've been lifelong friends, and they certainly could benefit tremendously from our lifestyle, but they choose not to. So we get together, and they always pick the worst places. So every time I've been able to do something, now I will say the last outing, which was this month, I had a nice iceberg lettuce, an iceberg lettuce salad, and I had taken some edamame beans, and I took my own salad dressing and so forth. So it worked out okay. But it's just one of those things where you just kind of do it and you smile and you think about why you're there, which is for the company and getting together and talking about old times. And, I just think that this is my path. And there's nothing that tastes as good as the way I feel when I have this lifestyle. So
That's
yeah,
right.
that's the way I look at it. But yeah, I look at the menu ahead of time. And there's only been one place, I think, in our many years of going places that there wasn't any iceberg lettuce on the menu. So I just said, guys, I just can't do this. I mean, do you think they would mind if I just brought my own salad? And so they decided to choose another place because they understand.
Good.
But if you've had a big health event, which I have, they feel sorry for you, and so they'll work with you on that. So that's Debbie and I was just thinking when Debbie was saying there's probably something you can eat. Debbie and I went to a funeral of a very dear friend of ours, and they had a wonderful buffet. It was at Lone Palm. It was gorgeous. And so Debbie and I are looking at the buffet and trying to figure out what we're going to eat. And so I think we ended up eating, what did we eat, Deb? Some green beans and some, I'm sure they probably had some salt on them, but they tasted okay. I mean,
We had a plate of green beans, and I think we had a roll.
Yeah, that's right. And the roll certainly wasn't whole grain, but sometimes you just have to hold your nose and do it because it's for the good of the order. Oh, wow.
Any other thoughts or comments or?
Debbie, one of the quotes that you put up there said when you are choosing your ingredients, you are choosing something.
You are choosing health, your health.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll share it with you.
Okay.
Your outcome, maybe?
Yeah.
I thought it was your outcome,
It could
maybe
be the
something like
outcome,
that.
Yeah.
Debbie, do you know what the recommended daily amount of sugar is?
Yes, it's very low. It's no more. I want to say, I want to say it's 25 grams of sugar, maybe for the day. So it's about 100 calories. But, and I'm trying to think if that is the Heart Association's recommendation. I can find out and send it to y'all tomorrow. How does
Thank you.
it sound?
And
Thank you.
And Debbie, I'm on my iPad. I'm not able somehow to save my chats. So
Okay.
would you be able to send the chat out when you do your thing?
Yes.
Okay, because I hate not being on a real computer.
I understand.
Deb, I just want to say thank you to Joanne because she's saying in the chat box that some restaurants that can't accommodate you will allow you to bring your own food. So I'll try that, Joanne. Next time we go to this egg place that serves breakfast, if they choose that place, is there any rule about, letting them know ahead of time and they will tell you they can't accommodate you, or how does that work? Just bring it and let them kick you out? Is that stuff? Ask you to leave?
Yep. Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
There you go. Okay.
I've never had anybody say anything to me. And now I don't usually take food, but I take my own salad dressing. I've taken hummus. I've taken potato toppings. I mean, I've gone to restaurants that I just unload my bag and I've got all mine and Mark's stuff all there, and I've never had anybody say anything. In fact, one restaurant that I called because I was meeting friends there and I called them to find out what I could order, and they were able to accommodate me with everything except salad dressing. And the manager of the restaurant said, I recommend you just bring your own salad dressing. We don't have any that meet your needs.
Sweet. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Anything else? I also want to say, so next month is going to be, it's going to be at lunchtime, and it's going to be on the 12th, I believe. Is that right, Kathy? The 12th?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
11:50.
Okay, so then in January, we are going to have the Kickstart, and I am going to have Dr. Angela Crawford on. She is a psychologist who has written a book on the vegan transformation, but it's the psychology of change, how it applies to us. So I think everybody will be super, super excited. And of course, here it is, the beginning of the year. And we will all be wanting to stick to our guns and get rid of anything that we possibly could have gained over the holidays. So it should be a fun class. And she actually is the um, coordinator or the manager for all Food for Life instructors with PCRM. So she has a big job, and she is going to be speaking to us. So I can't wait. Okay. So listen, all of y'all have a fabulous Thanksgiving, and stay away from those turkey giblets. Okay.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.